What's up guys, Houndish here, and today we are jumping in with some Destiny 2 news. And this is a pretty interesting one because we do get one of the first kind of sandbox updates for Beyond Light. Of course coming out relatively quickly after launch, and we do have changes to Stasis, some slight nerfs and adjustments to the subclasses, but also adjustments to gameplay and rewards. So there are some important things to talk about there. And then we have the This Week at Bungie update. They also speak about their plans to address some feedback about loot. Of course Bungie have been vaulting content and things like that. So there's going to be an update to the world pool of legendary weapons that we'll see on November 24th. They also speak about the launch of the raid, of course, and we've got a couple of other things to round up in the video. So guys, as always, I hope you do enjoy this one, but now let's get into it. Firstly, let's discuss the new update that we've had for Destiny 2 Beyond Light today, and that is Hotfix 3.003. Actually the first update for Beyond Light that really includes any sandbox changes, as well as a few fixes, but initially they talk about Stasis. So they say that they have fixed exploits with the Warlock Shadebinder super. We know that there were a few things going on there, and presumably that fixes the stuff that could have potentially affected raids and things like that. But also Stasis breakout damage has been reduced from 110 to 90 HP. And they've adjusted the curve that reduces breakout damage using resilience, increased the damage reduction effect that resilience has so that higher tiers of resilience are more valuable, and it caps out at 90 resilience. And so essentially when you have to press to hold to break out, that should be doing quite a bit less damage to us, hopefully, in the game when it happens now. And certainly it's been pretty frustrating being kind of nuked by actually breaking out of a stasis crystal. And then for Penumbral Blast, the stasis warlock melee, the projectile speed has been reduced by 20%, but also range has been reduced. It was 28 meters and is now 16 meters. But also for Winter's Wrath, the warlock super, the duration has been reduced. It was 30 seconds and is now 24 seconds. And the light attack cost has been reduced. It was 5% per burst, but is now 4.5% per burst. And Cold Snap Seeker speed has been reduced by 23%. So certainly a lot of adjustments right there for Stasis Warlocks in particular. Give us your thoughts about that down below, Warlocks. And then they say that against Guardians, Cold Snap freeze duration has been lowered. It was 4.75 seconds and is now 1.35 seconds. Quite a big change there. The Ice Flare Bolt freeze duration has also been lowered. It was 4.75 and is now 1.35. And then for Penumbral Blast, the Warlock melee freeze duration has also been lowered to the same values. And Winter's Wrath heavy attack no longer affects players who are not encased. There's certainly some pretty quick changes right there. I kind of wonder if they preempted some of these things going into Beyond Light, but it'll be interesting to see how they play out in game, and once again give us your thoughts below. Here though, for gameplay and investment, for rewards, they fixed a problem where Pinnacle rewards were not dropping at the correct power, and an issue where several repeatable bounties were providing more XP than intended. Good that the Pinnacles have been fixed, hopefully. And then they fixed an issue on Exodus Crash, where the spider tank wasn't spawning, and it's been re-enabled. And fixed an issue that was causing Arugula errors, and a problem where fragment pursuits were purchasable with a full inventory, and then weren't actually playable. And finally, for combat and weapons, they fixed an issue where the Coriolis Force Fusion Rifle was getting more ammo than intended, and a problem where Witherhoard damage debuff wasn't being removed properly, and it has now been re-enabled. So those are the patch notes for the hotfix today, guys, and once again, give us your thoughts about them down below. Moving on though, let's speak about some stuff in the TWAB. And initially they speak about loot, so they say that since Beyond Light launched, they've been working through a whirlwind of feedback. And today, we'll be talking through a bit of player feedback concerning loot, and some short-term plans the development team is working on. And essentially they say that they agree with the feedback that there's currently not enough variety in the world loot pool for weapons available to players this season. And so, they're adding back a selection of weapons that will help alleviate the issue. They say they'll also be watching to see how the landscape changes with the addition of weapons from Season 12 and this week's raid launch. But they also agree that getting near-cap weapons from random world drops is frustrating, thus we are removing those from the pool and weighting drops more heavily towards newer weapons. And so they say these adjustments are coming on November 24th. Initially, they'll remove all legendary weapons that have hit their infusion cap at the end of this season. Add all of the 7th Seraph weapons from Season 10, all of the Season 11 seasonal and planetary reprisal weapons, and weight drop chances so that the newer an item is, the more likely it is to drop. And essentially that's going to mean that we've got slightly more relevant stuff, right? And a handful of additional things to actually pull from that world pool. So certainly positive news, but bear in mind that's Bungie's short-term plan. And they've kind of said that they're going to continue to look at this. So that's a positive, I suppose, and let us know what you think about it down in the comment section. Here though, they do speak about the launch of the new raid, so contest mode reminder. The mode will cap all players at 20 power below each encounter for 24 hours, artifact power will be disabled during contest mode, and your team's power cap goal is 1230 for all encounters. But being above 1230 won't provide any additional advantage in the fight during that 24-hour period. I do point out once again that there was that issue discovered with Stasis, but that's been fixed in the hotfix today. And otherwise, a quick reminder of some of the exclusive drops for early completion. So we've got the day 1 raid emblem if you complete within 24 hours, which is by 10 AM PST on November 22nd. They've also got additional information about deadlines for raid jackets and other rewards. So if you want to check any of those details out and get clarification, definitely check out Bungie's article, which I will link down below. Something else that they talk about in the TWAB though, they are introducing SMS verification for what they call high stakes playlists and free to play accounts. So essentially what it means is that if you are a free to play player, in order to get access to Trials of Osiris, Iron Banner, and competitive PvP playlists, you'll receive a notice in-game the first time you try to access a protected activity, and this will provide you with a Verify Now link to your Bungie.net account and process your SMS linking. So nothing major, but for new players it's something to bear in mind, and they do point out that the major reason for this is to try and reduce the amount of cheaters going into those playlists, right? Essentially making players a little bit more accountable and trackable for their actions in game. So it's also a positive for players in general, right? Because hopefully the ecosystem will only improve with measures like this kind of being brought in. Otherwise, if you're a legit player and you don't cause anybody any harm, then you don't have anything to worry about. But once again, those details are in the description box below. There's also a section in there about a Game to Give 2020 fundraising campaign that Bungie are going to be taking part of. So this will be in support of the Bungie Foundation and Children's Miracle Network hospitals that benefit sick children across the USA. Community members can sign up to host a fundraising stream, and there's going to be a bunch of prizes. You may remember that we had one in a Bungie bounty here on the channel for one earlier on in the year, so we'll see if it's something we can get involved with right here on the channel as well, guys. But if you want additional info, once again, all of the blog posts and things like that are in the description box below. But otherwise, that rounds up the most important stuff from the TWAB update this week. Something to mention here very briefly, quick spoiler alert for some upcoming content, but since a lot of players have been asking about some of the interesting kind of darkness and Vex architecture that we saw in a bunch of the trailers for Beyond Light, it would appear that we are going to get some upcoming content. And spoiler alert once again, but this will come in the form of exo challenges. So Dun6868 did post to Reddit with some actual preview images of these challenges, and I guess these are the images that'll be shown in the API and on the Bungie app and things like that. But the file names also have the kind of activity name there. So there is Simulation Safeguard, Survival, and Agility. So it does look like we will be getting 3 different exo challenges. At some point in the next couple of weeks, these will probably unlock. And as we've seen via the quest steps for Lament, we're going to need to complete at least one of these to get the quest done. So just something interesting to point out, and obviously this points to more content becoming available this season. A potential kind of mini reset on Europa like we've seen with endgame destinations in the past. So definitely going to be some interesting stuff to look forward to. But first, of course, we have the raid launching over the weekend, so that's going to be a bunch of fun. And I'll be sure to keep you posted on any relevant information here on the channel. But for today, guys, let us know down below what you think about everything they discussed in the update today. If you have enjoyed the video though, a rating below also really helps us out. And if you're new to the channel, be sure to get subscribed to see a lot more Destiny content. Here is the little kind of raid race trailer that Bungie posted for the upcoming Deepstone Crypt. So you can check it out here in full if you like. But otherwise, I hope you have an awesome day.
This is gonna be the best day in Destiny raid history right here. Let's get it, boys. Let's get it.
Shoot it! Shoot it! Shoot it!
Al centro.
Back in front of you again. Got it. Dude, I'm getting pooped. Somebody killed the thrall.
Oh, what the?
Oh, no! Dude.
Ouch.
No!
This is like quantum physics.
Oh my god.
I can't see. There's a cat butt in my face.
Vai. Res me.
Calma, calma.
Come on, boys. Come on, boys.
Vai. Tutto.
Yes! Let's go!
Let's go!